Are you ready, fight fans? Tonight is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the heavyweight matchup between the powerful DNA versus the swiftly and thorough RNA. Who will come out on top to prove they are the king of biology?
The structure of DNA is unique. DNA molecules have two strands that are wound together to form a double helix structure. These strands run antiparallel to each other to allow for complementary base pairing. The hydrogen bonds between these nitrogenous bases hold the strands together. This type of pairing can only occur between a pyrimidine and a purine. DNA contains the pyrimidines cytosine and thymine, and the purines adenine and guanine. During base pairing, adenine binds to thymine and cytosine binds with guanine. These nitrogenous bases are connected to a 5-carbon sugar in DNA. This sugar is deoxyribose. The deoxyribose sugar is bound to a phosphate group. The phosphate group bound to a sugar makes up the backbone of the DNA molecule. The structure of RNA is slightly different from that of DNA. The 5-carbon sugar used in RNA is ribose. As seen in DNA, the sugar is attached to a phosphate group that creates the backbone of the molecule. Attached to the ribose is a nitrogenous base. The nitrogenous bases of DNA and RNA differ as well. Instead of using thymine in RNA, the pyrimidine uracil takes its place. Therefore, the purine adenine will pair with the pyrimidine uracil and vice versa. Instead of binding two different strands together, RNA bases bind to complementary bases on the same strand. This causes the RNA strand to fold over and form a hairpin structure.
We begin by talking about the function of DNA. DNA stores genetic material inside the nuclei of the cells. This genetic material is specific to each individual and is found in every cell of the body. When the cells divide, DNA replicates itself so that a new cell will keep this genetic material. Your DNA is decoded and used to make amino acid sequences specific to this coding. This is why DNA determines your characteristics to a degree. This isn't to say that everything about who you are can be determined by your DNA. Certain aspects about you, such as height, natural hair color, or eye color, are controlled by your DNA sequence. DNA is a hereditary link, meaning the combination of both your parents' DNA determine your genetic material. Your DNA cannot successfully be decoded without the help of RNA. RNA's main function is in the decoding of DNA and creation of amino acid sequences. These processes are called transcription and translation. There are three different types of RNA that work together to complete these two processes. First, we have mRNA. mRNA, or messenger RNA, is an RNA strand that decodes the DNA strand. It binds its base pairs with that of DNA in order to decipher DNA's genetic coding. Then there's tRNA. tRNA, or transfer RNA, is an RNA strand that deciphers mRNA into amino acids. Each amino acid has its own specific tRNA, which when deciphering the mRNA binds to form a long polypeptide chain. tRNA basically carries the coding mRNA deciphered to the ribosome. Last but not least, we have the rRNA, or ribosomal RNA. The ribosome works hand in hand with the tRNA to create proteins. The ribosome that creates the proteins based on the amino acid sequence is composed of RNA and proteins. These three RNAs work together towards one overall goal, to create proteins that associate with one specific DNA.
It is believed that RNA was the original molecule that carried the genetic code, and over time, DNA became the genetic carrier. Scientists believe that DNA is less reactive than RNA and has a more stable structure, which is why it's better suited to carry the genetic code.
Environmental factors and mutagens like ionizing radiation could have very negative effects on the DNA. Long-term exposure to ionizing radiation is known to induce mutations and cell transformations predominantly by causing single-strand, double-strand DNA breakage, which leads to chromosomal instability and the development of cancer. This has been supported by scientific research conducted on radiology technicians. In other scientific research conducted on lung cells, shows that DNA double-strand breaks are the most biologically significant because if this damage does not get repaired, then that would lead to genomic instability and cell death.
By comparing DNA and RNA, you can see that they each have their strengths and weaknesses. However, they both prove to be valuable to the cell and to life.
I love you, you love me, we're